Mark Barron, Mark Barron, Mark Brannon, Baron Chapman, Mark Davis, Raiders, talking about walking on water and being a god. I've walked on water metaphorically my entire life and know what it is to be a god on earth. Walking on water around the people you know, being on a pedestal. And if I would have gone pro and chosen the Raiders, I would have been one of the biggest assholes to the common people that anybody knows, because I thought that I was special because I was good at football. I'll tell you what, I have this one, I have this one. There's no doubt about who my favorite team is. Walking on water. Look at my face 4 months ago. 4 months ago, my face was fat as fuck, and I was fat as fuck, and I've been sitting on my ass, eating like a pig, and drinking stevia water, very, very sweet stevia water all day long. I make it taste like coffee, like chocolate milk. Put some milk and some coffee with stevia and drink it, and you too can do the same thing, gentlemen. Walking on water. I've been a god my entire life, athletically. You know, Baron Chapman was one of the baddest in Sacramento, and when he and I ran across each other, it was good until a little money dispute came between us, and then he tried to attack me, and I fucked him up, Dana White, and that's because I was mad. And Baron, or Mark Brannon, was one of the baddest in Sacramento or in San Diego when I was a sophomore in high school. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm telling you to shut the fuck up on video too. Anyway, yeah, she's a African disrespectful bitch, thinks that everybody in this crazy bin is a piece of shit, and I can't stand her. Sometimes I sleep and you're making a loud noise. I say, calm down, take it easy. And you're calling me piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Yeah, you're a piece of shit, bitch. Anyways, Mark Brannon, when I ran across you as a sophomore in high school, I don't know if you can get videos in the federal pen, but remember when you were on your back within a split second and I didn't punch, I woke up, I realized that if I punched, I was probably going to get arrested and in trouble for skipping high school for ditching. Yeah, I've walked on water my entire life to all the vagos out there. When I was invited for free to one of your barbecues, and the vice president of the club gave me an ounce of weed for free, I didn't realize that you had to ask to join. You know, I was called a hang around, and the person who told me that hang around, I'm like, what the fuck you talking about hang around? Dan Quinn doesn't hang around. Dan Quinn is Dan Quinn. Would you quit mumbling in your breath, bitch? Keep it quiet. Anyhow, yeah, Dan Quinn was Dan Quinn from San Diego High School, where he was a superstar in football and wrestling. Dana White. My sophomore year in high school, I was 24-1. I never showed that when I was in the cage, my wrestling skills, because I was so mentally involved in knocking somebody out. You know, if it had been real fights, I would have been undefeated. And when I'm talking real fights, I'm talking like mad on the street fights, you know, where you really try with 100%. Anyway, to everybody that thinks they know me, you know, anybody out there that's threatened me, threatened my kids, I'm going to find you when I'm rich. I'm going to pay you back legally. Everybody in this place, except for this bitch over here, likes me. walking on water. There's so many people, Colin Kaepernick, that walk on water and treat people like shit. If I walked onto the Raiders when I was 21 years old, instead of learning how to box, I would have been a god, Colin. I could catch Tim Brown from behind on the football field. I could put people out of practice with concussions. I was a vicious hitter like Jack Tatum, but I chose boxing. And within 2 years, I won the state of Florida and was ranked number 9 in the country. Pat Burns, Miami, Florida. If you're still with us, I'm not even sure if you're still alive. But if you are, you were a stud, homeboy. You had a beautiful younger wife. You had it on top of the world. You were a sergeant in the police force whose only job was to coach boxing and to keep kids off the street. And I got Rodney Kinged by a Coconut Grove police officer. I walked in 100% physically. I had just won the state of Florida Golden Glove title. Just got back from Des Moines, Iowa, where we had the Nationals, where I fought Von Bean to a 3-2 decision. And many people think that I actually won that fight. Von Bean, that fought for 2 world titles in the WBA and WBC, I believe. Lost both times, but the fact is he was there fighting Holyfield for a title. What's up, Evander? I know about being a god, and I know that you do good with your money, and you spread it around and help people out, just like Shaquille O'Neal. I tell you what, Shaquille, when you came to the Los Angeles Lakers, that's when I stopped liking him because I didn't know what a good person you were. I just knew you from Orlando. Thought you were this big thug, and I couldn't stand the Lakers for a while. I turned my back, became a Sacramento Kings fan, and then I found out what a good person you were, buying up bicycles for all the kids in the hood and distributing, turkeys on Christmas and doing things like that. Yeah, being a god. Dan Quinn's been there. In Sacramento, people that know me, I walk on water. I get fronts of dope if I want it for free. That's what a front is, Like my first drug deal ever, Nora Brown, I was fronted 4 pounds of marijuana, 3 ounces of cocaine, and it all came out to $2,500. $400 a pound for the marijuana and $300 for shale coke. I didn't realize there was 28 grams in an ounce. I didn't even do drugs. I just needed to pay for rent money. My mom, who abandoned me financially at Notre Dame when I could have been a millionaire, was charging me rent to live with her when I got suspended and then expelled from Notre Dame. That's how I got into the drug game. And I got in so deep that I stepped back and said, you know what, I'm in over my head. Can I give this to Pete Carroll? And Mark Brannon just looked at me, laughed, and said, fine. And so I did. And so I got Pete Carroll, my best friend, who I haven't talked to in 30 years. We're like the grandpa in Arnold, the cartoon. Best friends that haven't talked forever. What's up, Pete Carroll? Can you and your family try to find a cancer victim, preferably stage 4, dying, and I'll cure them easily, blending out all the toxic soap out of water. They'll drink pure H2O into perfect health in such blazing speed it will astonish people. And that way I won't have to go step by step by step trying to get this famous. I already have proof that getting the toxic soap out of water is paramount for getting people healthy, and when it's reintroduced into their systems, they die. My Uncle Bob and Peachy the cat, my mom was responsible for both of those. My mom, I love her, but she's been my enemy my entire life and doesn't even realize it. Anyhow, yeah, I got soap out of water by blending stevia in it, Elon Musk, and a cancerous 17-year-old cat that was skeleton thin and sneezing blood bubbles and about to be put to sleep at the vet, came back into perfect health. and lived until 19, until my mom started giving her tap water with stevia, and she was dead within a month from congestive heart failure. And then that miracle led to my uncle taking stevia. My uncle Bob, who was a blob of fat, had just lost his prostate to cancer and thought that his life was over when he got diagnosed with 6 breast tumors that were growing cancer. And from blob with cancer to lean Bob, losing 74 pounds and 6 breast tumors that were cancerous in 4 months from drinking what I call pure H2O. Put enough stevia in water, blend, see an explosion as water turns into a fuel that can run different Teslas than they're making now. You're going electric, but electric isn't good enough. We should go off pure H2O, which is a forever fuel and doesn't burn up. Anyhow, when Bob and I had a falling out over a little snafu with my mom and money, I told him if it wasn't for me, your fat ass would be fucking dead. Not knowing that Bob, who was bigger than I am, was a 6th-degree black belt in Shorin, something like that, and even jiu-jitsu. You know, he had studied his entire life. And it didn't come to blows, it came to words which were more hurtful. And I didn't talk to Bob for a long time and found out that he ended up in a hospital after his body was shocked by the reintroduction of all that toxic soap that's hidden in water. And then he's dead now, you know? And it all comes back to my mom not defending me when I was at Notre Dame, choosing money over what really matters. And that's what many people do. Filthy rich. What's up, brother? I know Tatiana, I'm in the same place that she works right now. I know your auntie. And she's one hell of a person. Got to know her. We had a little argument at first, and then I got to see her true colors. And you're spending a lot of money flashing it, and there's still people that are starving in the hood. I know you're doing your thing, homeboy, but are you doing enough? Could you do enough? Is it even possible to do enough, except if everybody that has money does the same thing? Because you can only do so much. You know, I've discovered how to make a liquid that acts like the fountain of youth. And for those of you that are doubting me, play the violin on your woman, 2 fingers in and up to the bottom of the G spot, and 2 fingers pressing down on the belly below the belly button. Feeling those inside fingers, massaging on the top and the bottom of the G spot at the same time. You can even use your thumb, your 2 fingers in and up, and your thumb is the clit if you don't eat pussy, and you can still play the violin. And when her pelvis and her pussy start to come off the bed and attack your face, know that it's a miracle. I'm the miracle man. I've discovered 2 of them that are going to rock the world. It's just that I didn't choose football, and I got Rodney King when I told a Miami cop, a Coconut Grove cop, are they even any different? Do they just choose different places to work? You know, I told a Miami cop, it's not my fault that your mom and dad should have been spayed and neutered to prevent the lump of genetic shit wearing a badge sitting in front of me. And that sent him off, and he fucked my knee up to where it blew up like I looked like the Elephant Man. And again, to battle, B-A-T-T-L-E, battle in Miami. When I'm rich, I'm going to retire you, homeboy, because you looked out for me. They put me in a pod of 13 angry black men, and I'm a white boy, you know, a good-looking white boy, which makes it worse. I didn't realize that I was good-looking. I thought that when girls looked at me and then looked away really quick when I was in high school, that I was ugly, that I was some kind of beast. And so I thought that I was ugly for the longest time. And it's only now that I realize that I am good-looking, and I realize that I'm human, you know. I realize that because I'm a better athlete or better looking doesn't make me better than the next guy. We're all the same. We're all human. To the Rothschilds and the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers that have so much money, it's mildewing in the bank accounts and will never be touched. And there's people that are starving and dying in the streets. Yeah. So I know what it is to walk on water. And I know that they've misplayed and misrepresented Jesus in the Bible. Jesus wouldn't condone what's going on. He would be sick to his stomach that his name has been used to go to war as many times as it has. He would be sick to his stomach that people aren't sharing. Jesus didn't like money to people out there that think they know the Bible. When he was a child, he attacked the table of the moneylender and sent all the money scattering on the floor. He knew it was evil. Ching, 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 666. How easy it is to change the dollar sign into a 6 if you're rich, you're an archaeologist, and you come upon the first reverberations, or however you're supposed to term it, that money is evil. Money is evil. And it was evil when it didn't defend me at Notre Dame, but it sent me on a path of becoming human. And I wouldn't change what happened to me in the past for the world, because I have two sons that I love with all my heart. We're astrologically compatible with each other, and we get along. We're friends. We smoke weed together. We joke. And I wouldn't change that. And it wouldn't have happened unless I got fucked over at Notre Dame, to Father Hesper, who's probably dead, and to the current president of Notre Dame. If you guys don't clear my name, I'm going to ruin recruiting for you for as long as I can. If you don't clear my name by paying forward the stevia miracle and having one of your scientists blend stevia in water and validate that it actually does split water into a natural gas. It has to be split H2O. Water triples in size, vanishes, there is no water inside the blender. If you guys don't validate that, pay it forward, I'm going to ruin recruiting for as long as I can and lure star recruits away from Notre Dame to play at other schools. Because if Dan Quinn can get fucked over for an attempted rape that never happened, what's saying that they couldn't? Yeah, I had the rector of the hall's testimony, knock, knock, knock. Dan, are you in there? Patsy McGowan and I froze. We went silent. We weren't even naked yet. And that knock at the door froze us. And the entire freshman class of the hall was lined up to testify for me, knowing it was a lie, that her cries for help couldn't be heard because the stereo was playing so loud that her cries for help couldn't be heard. The entire class was lined up to testify for me, and we're at 18 minutes now. I'll go to 20. Dan Quinn should have been a millionaire when he was 21. I should have been a bigger millionaire than Fred Riva ever was in his life, Doris Riva. And I did save his life when I told Mark Brandon, no, I don't want you to do him. When I told him that Fred handcuffed me to a tree with my hands above my head, it was at the behest of Harry Heisler, who in his 80s still had a slight German accent. I'm saying that Harry Heisler was a part of the Nazi regime, that he was a transplant. You just don't get to be a millionaire in the United States without help. And Dan Quinn needs help from people out there getting to be a millionaire, a billionaire, by paying stevia forward. Stevia plus H2O plus E for energy equals split H2O, and pure H2O will surpass Einstein's E equals MC squared and will lead to me becoming the richest man on the planet, Elon Musk. And I need help. I'm poor. I'm like John Nash right now, stuck in a loony bin, and I need a terminal cancer victim so I can have them drink pure H2O back into perfect health in such astonishing speed that it shocks the world and amazes them.